liftoff.
Anybody in here yet?
Engine primary.
Is anybody in here yet?
Negatory.
Okay, let's give it a couple seconds. I'll just start working as we get people in here. I'm gonna come in on my phone. That way we can see comments.
Well, I have my phone up.
Yeah, well,
But
nobody's in here yet.
yeah.
I'll clean these gasket surfaces real quick.
Yeah.
Ready?
Do some cleaning while we wait.
Huh?
Yeah, do some cleaning of the engine while we wait.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's you, but there's one viewer. I think it's probably you.
Yeah, I mean,
2 viewers.
some people might tune in
Yeah.
later too.
Yeah, some people are popping in already. 3.
What's happening, everybody?
It's good.
What
Tommy and Sam here.
What it is, what it is. We're gonna put the motor back together from our broken valve or bent valve we had. We figured we'd throw it back. We figured we'd pop in live for a couple minutes because we ain't been on there for a while with our hectic life that's been going on. Tommy's here in the shop with me. He's gonna help with the camera and help with comments. How's everybody doing tonight? Thank you for stopping in, checking it out. All these shows do these engine builds, right?
Yeah.
Let me grab that copper coated head gasket. That Mike Batista, he's always on Tony's channel. He's Mr. Copper Coat. So we got our factory gasket. Got some copper coat on our factory gasket. We already took care of that, sprayed it up, got it dried out for us.
Going on, guys. Mofar man. We're done good. We're just getting everything ready.
Put the motor back together so we can take it out and do some burnouts tonight.
Well, it's probably going to be too dark.
It'll be fine. It'll only take a little bit to get this thing back together. That's the beauty about the LS motor. Everything's pretty simple. We're going to drop cylinder head on now. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah. Well, they can see.
Let me get the cylinder head in place. So I can start torquing it down. Okay, head's on.
So it was the valve someone asked?
Yeah, it was a bent exhaust valve, number 8 cylinder. From what I gathered in my research was because these flat top pistons in this motor, I can't spin it to 72 because there's just too much lift at the cam. He said if I keep the rev limiter under like 68, then I won't have a problem. So yeah, I had it just barely kissed it, just enough to bend the outside edge of the valve. So I got the valve replaced already. We're gonna go ahead and throw it back together. And break a bunch of myths here while we're at it, because as you see, these are the stock head bolts. They're going back in.
That's cool. It wasn't too big of an issue. Yeah, luckily it wasn't, a piston or anything. So we had a piston break before.
Yeah, we got a whole box of broken pistons over there. But this is the first time I heard the driver's side bank of the motor. Usually it's the passenger side.
And E85 doesn't injectors don't like E85.
And they like to stick open. Yeah, you gotta watch leaving your fuel system open, but no. Our problem was we just over revved it, and with the turbo, I think the exhaust could have backed up a little bit and just slowed that exhaust valve from going shut as the piston come up, and they just made contact. It did. None of the other ones made contact. It was just the one in the rear. I'm just gonna go ahead and run these in. I'm not gonna torque them. Just it saves me with the torque. Right. Yeah, I'm just snugging them, guys. I'm not beating them home. They're not even touching the head with the impact. Guys, if you want to come shoot here, I'm just getting run down in place so I can go ahead and torque them real quick. Okay. Well, Brittany, we're live. Okay, 65 pounds on When you reuse a factory LS head bolt, 65 pounds is generally what I torque them at. I haven't had a problem with lifting any heads or anything, so that's been my go-to number. Matt Happel at Swapping Mechanics, he done a lot of research on this stuff, and he's had good luck at 65. So we get torque wrench set at 65. Now let's start torquing it down.
It's heartbreaking when you're driving and the engine just decides to throw a rod like it did on my 318 back in the day. I had my 76 Plymouth Volare, or the original Slant 6 in my 65 Dart.
I love them Volares, man.
It's good.
My dad had an Aspen, which is pretty much the same chassis as the Volare, man. I remember that thing, his was a 318. I loved that car when I was like 17 years old. We used to borrow it and we'd I'd break my Camaro I had at the time. And I'd always borrow that thing. That thing would do burnouts for days with that 318 in it. Yeah, good old Volare. We only get this head done. As I said, this will be a short life tonight.
Yeah.
Yep. Get the head torque down. I just smacked the fuel or the throttle cable bracket with my knuckles. Almost. I got the 3 or the 410mm bolts put in on the top. One bolt was a little tight. I don't know. Must have got some crud in it or something. Let me try it. Write it down. Throw the socket on the floor. Yum, yum, yum. Get that. I think this is the last of the head bolts that really need torque. So. And then we'll just go over and get the little point down. Make sure we didn't miss any of this one. Three. Yeah, at least we didn't have to take the oil pan off this time. Change the piston and rod assembly. Last time I thought for sure when it misfiring the other day, coming down the road, I thought for sure that's what we did. It ended up breaking another piston from going lean, but I noticed I didn't have any blow-by, so I figured it wasn't a broken piston, because you'll know when you got a broken ringland, it'll chug so hard out the breather. Okay, now we gotta hook the steam ports up. And then we're ready to put the intake manifold back on. Swing that turbo assembly in here. It's like the monkey said when he cut off his tail, huh? Won't be long now. That's the nice thing about a race car too. You've streamlined everything. As you have a race car, you're working on it constantly. The stuff you need, the stuff you don't need, they get everything streamlined. That's the steam tube. Okay, let me pull that wire brush out of there now so we can get the intake manifold back on, because I had a wire brush and we were holding it up off the manifold. Okay. I need 8mm and an extension for that. I had deep 8mm, but this isn't working here. We don't want that extension, it drops the socket.
My 82 D150 truck has a fairly new Midley belt. Let's see. Mildly built, 318, and I've been babying it, even though I do burnouts once in a while. 65 Dart will be street parlor when I get done with it.
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome, man. This is my daily driver. I have the 95 Ford pickup that I tow it with if we got to go like to the track, because I don't want to. My track's like 45 minutes away, and I don't want to be at the track with a busted drive shaft or something and have to drive back. So if I go up testing, but I drive this everywhere every day in the summertime. I get up and drive it to work every morning. So I said bye. I haven't had it on the dyno, But what the car weighs, this is a heavy car. This car weighs, last time I had it on the scale, it was close to 3,500 pounds. So 3,500 pounds, running 1070, that puts it around 650 horsepower, which is low, but that's because the turbo I got on here got a small exhaust on it. It's choking it. So we're probably going to go here. We run into, like I said, some little bit of issues that set us behind for a while, but hopefully before too long I'll be putting twins on it. I'm going to put another 78, 75 with the small housing.
Basically, the Dart will be a beast on the road.
Cool. I love darts, man. That's one car I had I sold that I regret. I had a 74 Dart Swinger that had like 70,000 miles on it. I bought it and I ended up selling it when Tommy was just little. He was only about a year old, and we found property up in the mountains from here. I had a one-ton Ford dump truck and my Dodge Dart, and I sold both of them for $3,500 and went and bought the property.
Mopar asks, what kind of exhaust are you running?
I run a 3-inch dump. I have a boost actuated cutout on the 3-inch dump, and then I got it running back, and it necks down and runs through a 2.5-inch glass pack. I mean, we just put I ran it all last summer with just the dump on it. We just put the on it the other day, the dump valve.
Hello, Rhonda. Someone just came.
But yeah, okay, let's get the rocker arm assembly on this. I said, these go together quick, man. These LS motors, they're like Lego motors, man. That's why everybody loves them so much, because you go score one at the junkyard for next to nothing, bring it home, put a $200 eBay turbo on it, decap the injectors, and make power. Slam it together. Okay, I'm gonna grab a ratchet real quick. I always go over these by hand because this gun here only hits at about 24 foot-pounds. So I always go back over them, just make sure they're snug. I don't want them coming loose. Like Tony said, you don't want them tight. The quote uncle there, you just want them cute. Maybe a little past cute, but okay, those are done. I got the 10 mil bolt ticket to throw on the top of the head here. I should have done when I had the intake off, but they'll go in anyway without it. They're not even really required. The new LT stuff don't even use these bolts. Okay, valve cover before we drop something in it. Always makes you nervous out of the valve cover. These rods are in, and the head is on. I mean, other than assembling the exhaust, this motor's together. We just throw the turbo and a downpipe on it, and we're done. How many people's watching?
Cuatro, 4.
4? Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in.
7
appreciate
likes.
We appreciate it, man. Everybody gonna check out John's tutorial he's got going on Sunday night before UTG Live. John's gonna have a tutorial to teach people about making videos to help some guys out and give them some pointers. So that'll be fun. I look forward to that, checking it out, tuning in, and having fun with them guys. Them guys are always fun. We wouldn't be where we were at if it wasn't for John and Dallas and them, so we appreciate that. We got lucky. We got lucky with the viral video that got us to start, and then now. Are we done, Tommy? bolts in before I put the intake on, but you know, dummy me. Dummy me, I forgot. Got ahead of myself. Alright, I got 3 more to put in. I should get a screwdriver. Be nice. I should have a light over here too. Let me take my hat off and show my bald head. What do you want, Tommy?
Yeah.
No. You want to talk? You can talk. Everybody's used to you on this channel too. You can talk. But your mom's sleeping good?
Yeah, she's
I
passed out.
thought she was gonna come out and join our live.
No, she passed out.
I think the world would like her. The world would enjoy Amanda.
She is funny. She'll
Yeah,
crack
but
some jokes.
she'd probably say something and get us banned though.
No,
That's
she
the thing.
should- No,
That's the thing about Amanda. She'll probably get us banned.
No, she wouldn't get us banned. I trust her on here. I trust her on here. She wouldn't say nothing we didn't say the other night at the rally. We didn't get banned from that. I think we'll be
We almost did. We got a warning, but they overturned it.
yeah, that's what they said, so we're good.
And Salty, man, Salty's always getting kicked off.
Oh no, what they said, they let see Salty does it with sarcasm. That's how he
Yeah.
gets away with it.
Yeah, but he does get kicked off a bit.
Yeah, well, he gets kicked off sometimes, but his sarcasm, their YouTube's algorithm just doesn't seem to understand sarcasm. That's how Salty gets away with it. All right, I think we're about ready for the turbo and exhaust assembly. As I said, I knew this wasn't going to take long to put together.
Hi guys,
The head's on
There's
for it.
Grandma.
Grandma come out to see what's
Oh,
going on.
we're gonna put the turbo on now.
You almost done?
Yeah, as I said, I just got to put the turbo on, basically. Put the exhaust system back on.
Wow.
I took it off like this. There's
Easy,
one
right
piece to
now.
make it easier.
You hear that, Tommy?
You do it
Okay.
that way, it's easier to put one piece on than it is to. Now, I might struggle getting it on down here, but. That clip out of the way, okay. Exhaust manifold gasket.
Hi everyone, this is Grandma. Coming out to check on the car. See how far along they're on it.
We'll have it done soon. Couple more minutes.
Wow.
We're getting there. I can go in there.
Wait, so that's the exhaust?
That's the turbo.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
the
that's
turbo.
the turbo.
That's what makes all the power.
That makes their power, they say. See, you're watching and learning too, huh?
That's what pushes the air into the motor more than it can breathe in on its
The only
own.
thing I know how to do on a car is change the brakes. And
Well, I
change
know
the
how to
tire
do brakes and,
and the oil.
yeah. I know how to do little stuff too.
I mean, for a girl, we shouldn't really know much.
Oh yeah.
There's some mechanics that are girls in the
I want
shops.
to do.
Yeah,
I want
Hillary,
to be
she
a
went
mechanic.
Yeah, she went auto mechanic in the CTC.
to, yeah.
I would like to do that, but EMT.
Your
Wait.
sister did it.
Automotive, auto body, and stuff like that.
Well, the thing about your sister,
Yeah.
when she did that, she didn't have to, she kind of cheated it, because she didn't have to do anything.
Why?
Because everybody always did the projects and stuff for her. She was the only girl in there. So
Oh.
even if she didn't want to, you know, I mean, they would do her projects just to try to be nice for her.
Didn't someone put kitty litter in their
Yeah,
engine?
Kitty litter in the motor, yeah. That 5 liter they had at the shop. I'm having a hard time with the exhaust manifold gasket isn't going in place. That's the
Ooh,
only
that
issue.
ain't good.
No, because it's heavy to this turbo. I don't know why I didn't want it.
How much does that thing weigh?
I don't know, that's not much, but I don't know why the gasket.
You know how many kilos it is?
No. Yeah, Tommy, stop with that, because I had people the other day in there, whoa, what were you with the metric stuff?
Oh,
We
for
won the war.
Canadian viewers, have
Yeah, we
some
won the war.
metric.
We won the war.
It didn't go to war with Canada.
It won 2 wars for us, though, or
Well, did you know the United Kingdom uses Imperial?
yeah, our SAE won us 2 wars.
They use miles per hour in Great Britain.
I use miles per gallon. You know what, miles per gallon is kind of worthless anymore, so we use miles per gallon. Maybe I got that inbox. It's not lining up. I thought it was.
Financing now available for gas.
That's sad, sad but true, huh? Why is it not going in? That's a shame. It was easy. I had an easier time putting the head on than I'm having getting this stupid exhaust manifold gasket on. Because you got only a
Did you see how much was gas today? Is it still 430 or did it go
I
up?
think it's 430.
Because Mr. Obvious made a video talking about how prices are about to surge.
Yeah, it's 430 at PA. 430 in Pennsylvania. I feel bad for guys out in Cali, man. They're paying $6 a gallon for it.
Oh, good time.
You know, in Hong Kong they're paying $10 a gallon.
Yeah, well, sorry about their luck. This is America. We have enough. That's the problem. We shouldn't have to pay because we have more oil under our country than anywhere. We're energy independent. If it wasn't for Brandon turning the oil off. But I digress, I guess. But now, as soon as I get this started, I just gotta get this manifold. So this is the hardest part, lining it up with the turbo on it. You gotta get all the bolts to start. And not cross-threading anything and ruining anything. 'Cause you're going.
John Wilburn says test. Test failed.
What is it?
John Wilburn said test. I said test failed. Yeah, totally. Can't see the message I just read. Sorry, folks. You can't see.
Pick on John and kick your ass when we get the no-name now.
The cheapest I've seen here in the Branson area is $3.58 a gallon.
Yeah.
Lucky.
You know what he told me?
What?
I said, you're gonna see Wilburn at the no-name nationals. I said, you pick on him too much. I said, he might put
Yeah,
a
we're
boot
just
in your
throwing a
ass.
little bit of sarcasm here.
I know, he might, Wilburn will put a boot in your ass at the no-name nationals when he sees you.
Can't wait to get the motorhome coming swapped.
Yeah, I found a line on a pretty rusty second gen today, so I'm gonna go check it out and see.
358 for 87 octane.
That might be our motor for the motor.
That's like the cost of E85 here.
That may be our motorhome. So,
How much is isn't E85 like 358? Around that.
E85 right now, for some reason, is about the same cost as regular gas.
Really? It's
Yeah.
like 4 something?
Yeah, they're robbing.
That's
Yeah, I know. I was paying last summer. You know, when gas was like what $3.20 a gallon or so here, I was paying like
two
40.
something
It
for.
was $2.40 a gallon for E85. I mean, right before the election, it was $1.99 a gallon for E85.
Yeah, and in like Wyoming, it's $1.99 for regular gas and like 50 cents for E85.
Now the caveat to E85 though, like I said, I've had people question E85. They think that it was cheaper just to run their car on E85. It takes more E85. It takes approximately, you know what I mean, like 1/3 more fuel to make the same power with E85. So.
John asks, who needs to be regulated, Sam?
No, I just told me. He said when he was messing with you, I told him he'll see you at the No Name Nationals, and you'll put a boot up his ass.
Who needs to be regulated? Sam, question mark. Oh,
It's just Tommy giving us a hard time.
isn't that
You know,
always?
these young kids, they like to give the old timers a hard time, but whenever they have all the problems, who do they run to? The old guys to fix it.
I take offense to that, because
Yeah. We might want to bring out the B word, the boomer word that we don't say here.
Well, I'm not a boomer.
I know.
I'm Gen X.
wait, why? What is it?
Oh, because he's talking about youngins, and that's what you said. When someone starts talking about you youngins, you always reply with "Okay, boomer."
Yeah, I'm a Gen X. Don't confuse me. I ain't no boomer. We're the
It's a saying. Exactly, you don't get it. That's why we say.
I don't get it.
That's why we say. What do you mean you don't get it? Are you?
He gets it. That's what
I
they
might
say
be a
to the old
boomer.
people. They call them boomers.
Well, you say it to each other as well. When someone says something like that, you know, back in my day or whatever, you're like, "Okay, boomer."
They're the baby boomers. Is who you
Back
need
in
to
the
blame.
1800s, okay, you boomer. I think I might get it a little bit.
Like,
I'm having a harder time
Like,
lining this turbo.
yeah,
up.
whippersnappers, get off my lawn. Okay, boomer.
Get off my lawn. That was a
Okay,
good
boomer.
movie, Gran Torino. Clint Eastwood, he's like, get off my lawn. With a gun. And he told his Korean neighbor. Yeah, they were Korean. He's like, we used to stack gooks like you 5 feet high and said use you for body bags. But then he ended up being friends with them.
Yeah.
He was just a lonely old man in his family. And
We needed, we needed some roof Koreans in the summer of 2020.
some rooftop Korean.
Yeah, rooftop Koreans. We needed some. We needed them back.
We need Rick now as president. Why is this thing not going on? Why is it on? I'm almost there. I don't want to cross. You know, it's aluminum heads. You have to be very careful you don't cross it. Bullholes are flying up on some of these. It's not making any sense. Another maker. Not making any sense. And take that one out of there, because that one didn't cross right too. And these manifolds. It's warped from the turbo heat.
It's like
Yeah, talk to people.
it's like 230 a liter in some places in Canada. That comes to about
It's
6.
what, 3.78?
Yeah, like 3.78 liters make up a gallon. So it's around 6 something a gallon, give or take.
For Canadians.
Yeah.
We're trying to.
Yeah, Hong Kong it's even more. And Norway and all those European countries, they've been paying this much for how long now? They've been getting robbed even before all the shenanigans.
We're gonna try to get back down to Hagerstown here before they roll out.
Well, hopefully we can.
Yeah, they're moving spots next Thursday.
Yeah.
They're going somewhere else, but they're good till then. I'll just sell for a cross-thread these head bolts, these manifold bolts. They'll cry. Cross-thread it, I heard it. I need some light here. That's what I need. Let me get some light. Light. See which way is light. Okay. Well, okay, it's gotta come up. I'm pushing down on it. It's gotta come up. No wonder.
TikTok over here.
What is it, Tommy?
I said Brittany's over here watching TikTok.
Oh, that TikTok's going pretty good.
Like a zoomer.
Who's that?
TikTok's
I don't know the
going
name.
No car. Folks, I believe that folks I believe that are in their 60s and older are baby boomers.
Yeah.
But not all older folks. Yeah. Are a-holes, no.
Yeah.
It's just a saying.
Yeah, I know. You gotta just say it.
You can say it to anyone. We can say it to each other. It's just, if they say something like that, we'll be like, yeah, okay.
Just like I said, I'm still gun shy on the crossroad this manifold. Ended that aluminum cylinder head because it wouldn't take much to turn the bolt crooked to really screw it up. A crooked bolt would really screw it up fast. That soft aluminum head.
Boo.
Oh, you gotta pay attention to your feet, buddy.
I'm paying attention.
Let me see if that does.
I graduated in 97, forgot what generation I'm classified as.
He'd be a Gen X. I mean, I graduated, because I graduated in 93. I think he'd be considered a Gen X.
Yeah, late Gen
97
X.
still.
Maybe, I was gonna say maybe a millennial now.
But he'd be 4 years younger than me if he graduated in 97.
Yeah, it's
'cause
probably
I'm class
Gen
in
X.
93, so he'd be a Gen X.
Yeah. My sister's a Gen Z.
Yeah, your
She
sister was born in 97.
Yeah, that's Gen Z. That's actually the first year of Gen Z, I think. 97 to 12 or 97 to 10 is one of those. That's Gen Z. Then before that's the millennials.
It's sad when you can get the motor set up faster than. I put the cylinder head on faster than I put the exhaust manifold on because of the turbo and all that. And said I'm just afraid of cross-threading this thing and screwing my head.
T plus 30.
afraid of messing the cylinder heads up. I don't want to cross thread them, screw the heads up. Because on a turbo car, it's important that the cylinder head seals good. Or that the manifold seals to the head good.
Trying to figure out how to do this dance.
Hey, where did it go? This
Gen Z.
extension?
Come on.
I didn't call you a boomer. I called you a zoomer.
Oh.
Because you're a Gen Z. The 90s were the great years after the music Pantera.
I like the late 80s, but still.
I like
90s were alright.
I like
Behind you.
I like 90s to 2000s alternative.
Peace out, love.
Alright. Later. Yeah.
90s to 2000s.
Yeah, I'll give you credit. You do get decent taste in music.
The Offspring, Blink-182, Simple Plan.
Alice in Chains. You got decent taste in music. I'll give you that much. I had to toss that one. That extension stud on the end of it got jacked up and it went over the socket. Every time I was dropping the socket, every time I was trying to get in there to tighten something, the socket was falling out. And it sucked because that, once again, that cost you more time. Okay, I got the V-band on the exhaust on this side. So.
I was a little kid in the 80s. 80s is great as well.
Yeah. I was 10 in 85, so I mean, I remember. But I mean, it's different than I remember in 85. I remember, you know, Reagan was my favorite president. Even in grade school, at 5 years old, I remember Ronald Reagan was how much I loved my president. I guess I was always wired that way to be a conservative. Ooh.
Amanda thinks it's cold out here.
It's chilly. I'm sweating.
It's not that cold.
It's not that bad. It's going to be way colder tomorrow. That's why we decided to do it tonight. 'Cause it's going to be cold tomorrow. We got weather coming in. It's going to suck.
You know, the weather always sucks. It's Pennsylvania. I don't know what you're
Yeah, but
expecting.
it's spring. It should be nice.
The weather always sucks here.
It's spring. No, it's nice in the summertime.
Yeah, except for when you're getting tornado warnings all day.
Okay, code.
Get out of the way.
Huh?
Tell them to stop blocking. Stop blocking you.
What's it? Code.
Yeah, it's chilly.
It's not that cold.
No, I said I'm sweating right now, but
I'm used. I like it cold, so I'm not complaining.
I'm just tightening up. I'm getting this exhaust manifold bolts on. As soon as they're done, I mean, that's the worst thing. Get them started. I just had to be careful. Like I said, you don't want to cross thread anything and screw up the head. It wouldn't take much to pull the threads out of the limited head. You don't like that one. That one's like crooked. I didn't even start it yet, but it just started.
You're not reading the comments? There's not any comments on right now. See, that's an old comment.
Yeah, we don't have a whole lot of people on there right now.
It's not like when we were live at the convoy when our chat we needed slow mode.
Yeah, we got 1,000 people. But we're glad that people jumped in to join and they'll get to hear this motor run here. Here shortly, it won't be long. What I gotta do, hook the turbo drain up and
Oh, today they will.
oil, huh?
Today they will.
Yeah, oh, it'll be running here shortly. We're probably half hour, 45 minutes away to be done.
About wait.
About a half hour, 45 minutes.
You said it wouldn't take that long.
Huh?
You said it wouldn't take that long.
It hasn't really been that long.
Yeah,
What's it
it's
been?
30. It's T plus 34.
Okay, we got a half hour, Tommy. The head's back on, the turbo's on, the manifold's on.
Yeah, and you said another half hour.
Yeah. I told you earlier it'd take
Yeah, I'm
probably
just
about an
impatient.
hour.
Yeah, I'm just impatient. We're still here, but listening or figuring out what to say next. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I told you it was gonna take probably about a half an hour to put it together. I gotta get that.
Maybe I'm just being impatient.
Yeah, you are being able to get one more bolt to tighten on the manifold.
I'd be a bad doctor because I lose my patience easily.
Yeah. Dad joke much?
Yeah.
That's a dad joke. Good thing you're not a doctor, because you lose patience. Yeah, I'm on the last manifold bolt, and then I can put it on the
Come back
turbo
here once more.
and put the downpipe on, and we'll be done. You know, this hot side just makes some of these bolts difficult to get together. This bolt here. I'm gonna be all itchy from this header wrap on the hot side. Are you messing with the jack?
Yeah. Isn't that what people do in chops?
No.
There's always that one person.
No, because I gotta jack the car up. When I get ready to put the downpipe on, I gotta jack the car up. It gotta come in from the bottom. It's always there.
Brittany bailed on us.
Yeah, that's fine. You can bail on me too, you can get away with it.
No.
Oh, that's that protect my snap. Oh, I better do that now. Yeah.
I'm back. Did y'all miss me?
Yeah.
I was on it.
The trap might have missed you, I don't know. Maybe.
Did y'all miss me? Did you miss me?
Of course, Amanda.
Did you miss this?
Yeah. Of course, Amanda.
No way lying.
Like a toothache now. Like a toothache.
No way lying.
You know how you miss a toothache?
No way lying.
Uh-huh. Just clamp on. The manifold's on, Tommy, so. The hardest part was done. I'm putting the heater hose on the, the turbo drain real quick. Get it over and connect it up. Nice 10 in. Gotta bring
What time?
where's the oil feed for the turbo? Oil feed for the turbo.
What time is it?
Daytime.
That doesn't
Same
look like
time
daytime
as it
at all.
was yesterday, but a day later.
Okay, there's that. Okay, I gotta do
It
that.
doesn't look like daytime to me.
It's half close to monkey's ass quarter to the balls.
Come on, man. You
Well,
know
they're on
what?
our monetization.
Yeah, buy monetization.
They're on our monetization for the channel. No comment, I gotta be rude. I swear. On a live stream.
What? He asked what time it was. I
There
said
goes-
it's half past monkey's
Hey,
ass.
Amanda!
On a live stream.
Huh?
Can't do that on a live stream.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, you got a higher standard than on a live stream.
But you can cuss on YouTube though, but you can't say that.
Some you can, but they don't like to monetize you if you go out swearing. YouTube does, you know, I mean, companies don't want to advertise with you.
Yeah.
Cuss all the time.
Used to you could say whatever you wanted. Now you have to.
Yeah, no.
Be careful. You can say some things. You gotta limit yourself.
You can say stuff when having your channel disappear.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I apologize if I said that.
Thanks, Susan Wojcinski.
Hope Susan accepts our apology.
Or not.
Probably not.
I mean, I go to Rumble, but you know, I mean, Rumble just isn't formatted for what we're doing. Rumble worked for your top channel or something. But
If you're
what
like
we're doing-
Saudi.
Yeah, what we're doing, Rumble isn't really suited for it. Okay, I gotta do the spark plugs, tighten the wastegate down, put it down.
We need to start a Rumble that talks about polemics
Yeah.
and golf editions
Our air filter.
and about the fake ballerinas.
Put the spark plug in.
I'm going in.
Why?
Because I'm tired, so you never know what comes out of my mouth. So I might
That's
want to.
fine.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
In the coof.
you just can't be too overboard.
You never know what comes out of my mouth. I'm tired, so you never know.
I'm putting a spark plug in now, Tommy, so
Okay.
it won't be long. I'll put that.
Pistons don't need those.
Yeah. Get the spark plug in. Drop the wires. I should drop the wires so when I had to, before I put the manifold on, but it didn't. I get them through, I get the pile all back away from the head anyway, from the exhaust anyway. My fingers are so itchy from that exhaust. I hate that fiberglass exhaust rod.
Ooh, fiberglass. That's. I know that
This
gets in your.
exhaust rod, my fingers are so itchy right now from just touching it. You can't do it because you gotta have it. You know, you gotta control the heat. You gotta control the heat, keep it in there. On the hot side, especially, I mean, it's all wrapped with the fiberglass header wrap, but the problem is this stuff here, you just touch it and it gets in your fingers and you don't even wash it off. It sucks. My hands will be itchy for 2 days. It even seems if you wear gloves, it still you end up getting it in your skin somehow. That, I have no real tactical, so I don't really care to wear gloves. Guess cancer won't be that bad. Skin cancers. Okay, I had another extension.
In our anatomy and physiology, we're talking about what's it? The lungs and disorders you can have and diseases. And we talked about mesothelioma. Mesothelioma, you know the commercials. If your
Yeah.
loved one has been diagnosed with mesothelioma,
I guess I shouldn't do that extension. Sure. Guess I shouldn't toss that extension when I get mad. So now I need it. I got more. I gotta put these tools away too. This place is just trash. I always get so aggravated when on the video I gotta upload to that homemade or the homemade LS spring compressor. I was getting so mad. I was because everything's in the way. The shop just needs a super cleaning. It needs a giant douche out and be done. That way we can come in here and work again like we used to be able to do. Everything in here, if it ain't part of something that's getting worked on, it's out of here. I bet I probably got 2 loads of scrap to haul out of here. What are you doing?
nothing.
Oh, why are you doing that?
I'm not doing anything.
You're distracting me.
I'm not distracting you.
Now you're distracting me.
I'm not distracting you.
You are distracting me.
I'm nowhere near you.
I can see you out of the corner of my eye.
Fake news.
Huh?
It's fake news.
Fake news.
You're fake news.
Okay. I am not CNN. How dare you insult me?
Fake news.
It's like people got grease off everything.
You know, the car is just a hallucination, guys. You can't see it.
Yeah, it's not here.
Yeah, it's not. This is all,
Oh, drink.
this is all hallucination, guys. Fake car. Fake garage. You know, us, we're fake too. We're just artificial intelligences.
It's all a simulation.
Yeah, this is all running on the computer in Area 51.
We're all simulations. Wonder when Buff's gonna be back with Uncle Tony. I miss Buff Del Campo. Uncle Buff.
T plus 44.
What is it?
I said T plus 44.
Yeah, we're good. Tell me the hard part's done. The motor's assembled.
I know. Just
All I
keeping
gotta do
you
is get the couple little
updated.
things, the exhaust. I just got done with the turbo on. I gotta tighten that one turbo, the flange down. And then I'm gonna put this ground wire on before I'm gonna let the car start. Did I forget to put
The groundler asks, how's it coming?
It's coming. We got to do the coil packs and the exhaust and the dipstick. I mean, we're almost there. It's coming along quick. The engine's assembled. They said it's just putting the peripherals on right now and putting the downpipe on. Spark plugs, I just plugged them in. I gotta run the plugs and the plug wires. Coil packs right now going on. I just knocked all the tools down in the center. Okay, coil packs are down. Plug them in. Coil packs are down and plugged in. Okay. Let's do the spark plug wires. Come on through. Number 2. Okay, where's number 4? Tell me, what are you doing, silly?
Well,
Come on. Oh, you're pasting.
some board.
Yeah, well, you're done. Clean the shop. Look at that board.
That's boring.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to have room in here?
Yeah.
I mean, you'll be doing your driver project will be coming up soon. We'll be doing the Honda.
Yeah.
Some people will get to see some front-wheel drive stuff, some import stuff. Possibly, hopefully, I don't know if the K-Series will get in it this year, but it will have a K-Series in it. Maybe K-Swap. Yeah, I got all the plug wires on. The only thing I'm seeing, I gotta stick that dipstick tube in. I gotta tighten that drain for the turbo flange. I just gotta snug it and put the downpipe on, hook the exhaust back up. It's about done. I gotta zip tie these wires real quick while the motor's going to get in. Let me jam that dipstick in right here shortly because I don't want to forget about it because it's really hard to put in. I should put it in even before I had the car together like this before, but because it's down on the bottom, it's hard to get in. Let me pull these wires back away from everything. Plug wires, so they don't cook on me. I mean, the exhaust wrap keeps the heat off of them, but I still zip tie them back so they're not rubbing against the manifold. It's just the way I feel. I'll sleep better at night with them zip tied back away from it. I know they're not cooking on the exhaust. One more time. Get her done. What will we break next? Tommy?
What?
I said, what will we break on it next? What's our next thing we break?
We'll burn up the blinker fluid.
I wonder what we will break next.
Did you check our blinker fluid levels?
Yeah, that's
Are we-
what happened. We ran low on blinker fluid. That's what caused this cat.
No, that's not what happened yet.
Yeah, that's
Because before we left, our blinker fluid was good, but that stuff evaporates quickly.
Get that in there and out of the way. Get that. Okay, I gotta. Let me look here real quick. Let me pick these tools up because they're gonna all fall anyway if I don't move them. I'm gonna jack it up here and put the downpipe in along with one, Tommy. I got the dipstick in. I gotta do the downpipe. I gotta find, and I gotta get my Allen wrench stuff there to tighten up that wastegate. There's a wrench for the turbo drain.
Does this car need a heater coil?
Heater core.
A heater core?
It had one from the factory, but it's gone.
Yeah.
That's why it doesn't have heat anymore.
Oh, this car doesn't have heat?
No, rubber.
Oh.
I'm gonna get an aftermarket to put because it took too much room to have the factory setup. Took too
A
much
heater
room.
core.
Huh?
A heater core, just like
Yeah,
your
I'm
blinker
gonna
fluid.
get an aftermarket because I want to do a AC anyway eventually. If it's gonna be heavy, I want to get an aftermarket kit that has the heater core and everything that mounts under the dash that way. Because these G bodies got that giant heater box that protrudes from the dash, and it or from the firewall and gets in the way of everything. So we don't want that. This turbo drain tank. This one goes on for a bit of turbo run, so I'll put it on the way. It's small wrench. Yeah, that's fine. I got a small wrench that can be short. So we're going to my little friend. Say hello to my little friend. This fits it better. Gets in there a lot better anyway. There you go, that fits. Take the turbo drain before I forget and leak oil everywhere. I should probably put the oil in it now. I gotta get on there and make sure that taking the drain plug and put oil in it now. Okay. Turbo drain's on. Alright. There's the arm wrenches I needed for. Look these vacuum lines up real quick for this. For the wastegate and that. Doing pressure. for the-
You know, the people who work at AutoZone, if I went in and asked them for blinker fluid, they'd probably search for it in their computer.
Sometimes you can get kids that do it. They're not gonna learn, but
Has that?
I like going in there, you know, I mean, which is fine. Like I said, everybody gotta learn. I have no problem. No one's born knowing this stuff. I have no problem with that. My problem is when you go in and you'll have a guy that will argue with you that has no idea, but he'll argue with you that it's the wrong part or it won't fit. I'm like, dude, I've been doing this longer than you've been alive, probably. Just get back here and give me what I asked you for. I don't care if your computer says it don't fit or if it's not right. I remember getting into it one time down here at Advance Auto when I had that old Samurai over there running, because I had the 1.6 tracker motor swapped in it out of the Sidekick. And I had a GM 110 amp alternator that I run. And I had Toyota power steering pump on it. And I asked the guy, I was like, yeah, I need a V-belt that was like 42 inches long by 5/8. And the dude's like all up on the computer, he's like, oh, what kind of, you got, and I'm like, look, dude, I was like, unless you got something in there that has a 1.6 and a Samurai, which they never did, with a Toyota power steering pump and a Chevy alternator, I said, you're not going to find that belt in that computer. Just give me the belt I need, please. Because I should have made sure the drain plug was turned on. I think it is. I better check it.
So, do you think any of the younger people would actually search blinker fluid in their computer?
He had a couple friends of mine. He sent his girlfriend in to ask for blinker fluid, and she come out mad because, of course, they told her it exists.
The employees broke it. The employees are probably like, who sent you in?
Yeah, she wasn't too happy about it, but she didn't know any better. She went in and asked for it.
I could probably get my friend with that. Like, we were driving out and hanging out with Chris and be like, hey, Chris, can you run an AutoZone and ask them if they have blinker fluid? Okay.
I hope not.
And then he'd walk in and be like, you guys have blinker fluid? And they're like, ah.
I hope not.
No, probably.
I hope not. You guys see, there's no excuse for that. You guys should learn this stuff just from absorbing it. You've been around it your whole life. You know all the terms. You might not know what they are, but you know it because you've lived it your whole life.
What's the thing you ask for? A heater core for a...
For an air-cooled Beetle, so you'd ask for like a 60-year Volkswagen Beetle and ask for a heater core and get them to look it up because, like I said, that's an air-cooled motor. It don't have
So, I wonder what would happen if they typed blinker fluid into their computer.
I don't know. Yeah, hopefully the IT guy has some humor too and he programmed something funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know, if I ever worked at AutoZone, on my first day, just to see what it would say, I'd probably type in something
Alright.
stupid like that just to see what it
The
says.
oil drain plug was in, but I still had to snug it up. Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there.
Wasn't there a commercial on TV that said about blinker fluid?
There could have been. Who knows?
There's like a commercial where, like, you know, there's these kids on a field trip and it's like, go ask the guy for blinker fluid. There's a sign on the wall that says blinker fluid does not exist. They just ignore the sign.
I remember years ago, before computers and memes and everything, there was a drawing that used to be taped to the counter at the one local parts place. It was a mom and pop shop, and it had a computer sitting on a crate, and like the crate said, you know, rotors or something, and the computer was sitting on the pallet of them, and the guy was like, the computer says we don't have any. You know, the computer was sitting on top. I always thought that was a pretty amusing.
Yeah.
And the computer says we don't have any. And yeah, I'm a cheapskate.
You hear that?
What?
Oh, that's the light buzzing. I was gonna say, you hear that buzzing?
You know, I'm a cheapskate. My 650 horsepower street motor, I'm running Super Tech oil in it from Walmart. But it's a roller motor, so it doesn't need zinc. So. And it doesn't have a distributor gear to wear, so I mean, I can get by with non-zinc oil, and this motor was made for it. And I'm a cheapskate, being since this oil only had about 10 miles on it, I drained it out and I'm putting it back in. Other than that bent valve, we didn't go anywhere on this oil. Didn't drive it, it only come up the temperature maybe 2 times. So I have no problem with reusing it. Now, if I would have, like, when I break a piston or something, and I get pieces of metal in the oil, yeah, I'll go back.
They about to far this mother up? Question mark.
Almost, yeah. As soon as we get the downpipe on, yeah. We just gotta get the downpipe on. I gotta jack it up, get the downpipe on. This is my monstrosity of a downpipe. I have that's the boost actuated cutout, and then this will connect to my exhaust going back to the car. When it's under vacuum, it sends it out the back. To keep it a little more civilized. I gotta put that on and put the antifreeze in it, and I think it's done. Jack it up and block it up so it doesn't kill me. Oh, who twisted the valve clear on my jack?
I don't know, couldn't be me.
I was playing with the settings the other day, told me I noticed something pretty funny, the time lapse.
Yeah.
When you're jacking the car up slow like this, it looks faster. It looks like you're flying. Alright, let's see if that's tall enough to get the jack stands under.
What's that fluid on the ground that looks?
That's where I spilled antifreeze when I was draining when I had to drain the cooling system to pull the head.
Are you gonna use the creeper?
Huh?
You using a creeper?
Yeah, I'll probably use a creeper, but I just gotta feed this up through and connect it. It's done. Where's my V-band clamp? It's on the
Creeper? Oh man.
Alright, it's jacked up. It's on the jack stand, so let me get the downpipe in there. I think we're ready. We'll be almost ready to fire it up.
That looks like a pretty decent little shop with the block construction.
Yeah, it's 28 by 38. There's the size of it. We've been here in it for 20 years. Either use it for storage or working. It's been 20 years that we've had it. Let's exhaust out of it. It's in my way. Go on, creep. Oh, my glass pack's up all over here. Get out of here. It won't let me swing that downpipe. It was a lot easier for me to just downpipe long. I gotta get it up in there. That's too much. How am I gonna get that? Sort it up through. Twist it once again. I think, I don't know. Like that, yep. Downpipe up in there, would be good. The downpipe. Pipe fit, get 3-inch pipe up in there with everything else. Maybe it's almost up. I gotta turn the whole pipe 180 degrees. out of there. It better go back in, right, Tommy?
Yeah.
They come out, it should go back in, right?
Yeah.
They come out without taking anything else off.
I mean, that's how computers generally are, so I guess the car works the same.
They come out, so it should go back in that way. Okay, I'm almost there. You get to spin around.
It can only go on one way, right? Can only go on one way.
It's just gotta turn it to get it up in there.
I was gonna say, it's like a computer, you can only put it in one way.
Yeah, but it come out, so it has to go back in. It come out that way.
Stuff's about to be blowing around in here.
Huh?
Someone said, Dan says stuff is about to be blowing around in here.
Yeah. I'm gonna get down pipe up in there. We're good. I just bent it. We're good. Down pipe. Just paying attention. When we get the down pipe, let it go. It just sucks. You gotta clear that. Cross. It's tipping me off because it come out. You know, it's going right out. Why I won't bring it? It's going if I. No, it's tipping me off. I take car power. You said that, Dan?
Yeah, Dan. Dan just hanging out with us. Talking to each other.
That's cool. We're gonna get car power, maybe I don't. Raise the jack hands up. I took it out with the car just like that, just on one layer of jack stand.
Ooh.
I like down real fast.
OSHA approved.
Huh?
OSHA
It's
approved.
on jack stand. Where is it going?
We follow OSHA regulations in the shop, right?
We're not a business.
True. Hey, we could become White Trash Motorsports Incorporated LLC someday.
Most regulations are following, you never get nothing done. Unfortunately, I worked in construction in my life, you know what I mean? You follow the regulations, you never get done. That should help, I just took the car a lot. Give me a little more room to try to get this done. I had it in where it needed to go, but I couldn't turn it. I didn't have enough room under here to spin it. It's gotta go up through, and then it's gotta turn. Come out, spin around. There we go, I got it. Got it. That'll work. Almost.
Almost.
Yep, because it's coming up. That's it right there. Cool. I gotta fix, I pulled my heat shield off. I'll put it back on. That's mine. I got a heat shield. I think it was a coil pack. Okay, now, there we go. Spin this way. What's it hitting up there, Tony? Can you see?
What?
Can you see what the end of it's hitting?
Like up in the engine or?
Yeah, up in the engine. I gotta start turning forward. Come on, okay, that might work there. It's gotta come up.
It's hitting like this pipe thing that has two wires on it, like by the turbo. This thing,
The down pipe,
the down pipe.
or the wastegate pipe, right? Okay. Grab me that thing that looks like a multi-tool. Yeah, I'm here. Yep. I mean, I'll pull that out from now. I put this back on once the exhaust is on. Yeah, it's hitting the down pipe. Okay. I'm gonna watch the dipstick and kill it. I need to pull this damn off. It's hitting the way. It's the wastegate now. It's hitting. And like I said, I done screwed up the what you call it, the heat shields. I done knocked them off. So put them back on so they'll be alright. I'll take this off for now. I like doing it twice. You got time to do it once, you got time to do it multiple times, right? Got time to do it twice, you got time to take the time to do it right the first time. Wastegate dump. Yeah, that's what I see now. I gotta make sure the dipstick stays in the hole, and I gotta spin it around and get it up here. Where's the heat shield that was on the back?
Dan says, I never use jack stands, usually stacks of boards, made some redneck ramps.
Yeah. Now we're catching on, Tony.
Well, let me look.
You gotta come up with a turbo.
It's not even.
Yeah, I know.
It's scraping against this, has this kind of like fabric-y material on
Yeah, I
it.
don't wanna rip that.
Yeah, it's scraping against
Yeah, why
it.
not? I gotta make sure I don't rip it.
See, it's scraping against it
Yeah.
here by the dipstick.
Yeah, I don't wanna rip it. That's my exhaust. Yeah, cat litter. It's almost. Huh? You know where the box is at, right? See if it comes up there, Tommy, got it?
It's facing the wrong direction because it's hitting these tubes.
I know, but I
here.
gotta get it up in there first, Tommy. It popped right out. Something's wrong. I'm in the wrong area or something, because it come right out of the
Okay,
car.
now it's facing towards the turbo.
Yeah, now it's gotta come up, though, above it, because it's gotta connect to the back of the turbo. It's right there, right? Can you grab that front and pull it up towards the turbo?
Hold on.
I don't wanna rip that wrap. That wrap's
I think
expensive.
I'm getting it. Yeah, it's up towards the turbo now. If you
Alright,
want to
thank
look
you.
at it. Oh, now it's going up.
I'll pull back, it'll go now, okay.
Here, see?
Yeah.
I pulled it up towards the turbo.
Alright, yep, thank you. And I don't wanna tear that wrap.
Let's go see what chat's saying while I was away. Wrap something around that flex coupler, someone said.
Well, I don't have a flex coupler.
Forrest, come to Lieutenant Dan. What happened to your legs? Harbor Freight jack stands.
Yeah, they're 6 tons though, whole little car, don't be
Yeah.
Everybody gotta be speedy. Them hurdles jack stands are fine. Alright, I gotta keep it from falling, that's the problem now.
Alright, you make sure.
What do they say, Tommy, they making fun of me struggling?
Yeah.
Or
No.
they sound funny?
Someone said wrap something around that flex coupler.
Yeah, it doesn't have, if there's no flex, I know what they mean, but it's not, it's just a flex wrap, it's not.
It's just a flex wrap.
It's just the heat wrap, there's no flex coupler on it.
Heat wrap. I don't know what that means, but
Yeah, I know what he means, but yeah, I don't have, on this, it doesn't have a flex on the downpipe. It's fine, we got it. Once I jack the pipe up where it goes, it'll be fine. Right now, I see them going, hitting the jack stand's not got the pipe forward. I forgot that the jack stand holds the downpipe from going anywhere it needs to go. Now I'm up at the turbo. Now I gotta just put my V-brake clamp on and we're good. We're where we need to be. It's in. Well, this was easy till a week ago until we put that cutout on there. That cutout's what made a difference because now we got that extra piece hanging off the end of the.
if it used cheaper, good quality jack stands, I make sure to put 2 to 3 ton roll around the floor jack under the vehicle and pump it up to put pressure against the K-frame.
Yeah. Oh, the jack still holding the place. Yeah, I put it away on the jack.
I have Harbor Freight stands as well. Time to make some noise.
Almost.
Almost.
But well, what I'm saying is the jack's still holding the car. I don't have, I mean, that it's not being supported by the jack stands. The jack stands are up tight against the frame, but the weight's still on the jack too. So the jack and the jack stands up. Well, they're dropping on me. Okay. That was more of a struggle than it should ever have to be. But it is what it is, right?
I'll use multiple lift jacks and get under there.
What is it?
He said I'll use multiple lift jacks and get under there.
Yeah. Well, one day we'll have
One day.
a lift. And here, I've always wanted one. We got a high enough ceiling in here to have a lift. We got 10-foot ceiling.
Is there a safety measure out? Is there a safety measure in case the jacks give out?
Yeah, the jack stand.
The jack stands, yeah.
I think two of these will hold this car.
6 ton.
Yeah.
So it can hold 12 tons.
Well, that's 6 tons for the pair, but
Oh.
still. They're rated as a pair, but yeah, I mean,
So each can hold 3 tons, and that's about the weight of the car,
yeah, well,
not
I mean,
even.
the car weighs 3,500 pounds.
which is about
1.5 tons.
Yeah.
So
Or
I think we're well within our safety factor, don't you?
for Canadian viewers, that's how many kilos?
Don't know. I know I knocked that off. I'm gonna find that. I gotta find that deep well 13 I had because I knocked it down when I was working. Okay, downpipes on though. That's good. The downpipes on. I gotta fix the heat shield, but if that's all it costs me, I can live with that. Okay, all I gotta do now is I gotta screw the oxygen sensor in, plug it in, put the dump pipe back on the wastegate, because I had to take it off, and the dipstick, and I don't even, I mean, I won't, for these guys, I won't even hook the exhaust up tonight, I'll just dump it up, leave the dump on it.
What I meant is the floor jack is. What I meant is the floor jack is there. Increase the floor jack in case the floor jack give out as extra support.
Yeah, that's what I usually, generally I'll leave the floor jack under there too for extra support, unless it's in the way, like now when you're doing a transmission or something, the jack can be in the way. Okay. We got her though. We're back down to the ground now, guys. We won't die today. Maybe another day. Maybe I get wasted another day on camera for it. Right?
I guess.
I can get wasted another day on camera for him. Make him happy. I mean, look, I've been burned, blown up. That was what? That wasn't last summer. What summer was the summer before last, Tommy?
What?
When I got burned.
Burned what?
Remember when I got burned?
On what?
When I was doing a cam break-in
Yeah.
on a C3 Corvette. I had it out here running. And, you know, I'd done the typical boo-boo thing. I didn't realize that with the hood open on a C3, it's not pulling any air through the radiator. So I went ahead, was doing the cam break-in. Just got done, reached in, turned the car off after its 20-minute break-in. Everything looked good. I was walking around the car. I was walking around between the wall back here in the shop and the car, and right as I walked around the side, the upper radiator hose blowed, and the motor was setting on the gauge. It was setting at about 260, 270, and it blowed. I mean, it covered me head to toe with antifreeze. I mean, from the side of my face clear down, I mean, I had to rip my shirt off because it was hot and scalding me from the wet coolant. And then since the coolant's oil-based, it burnt that much more into my skin. I come out of the shop, stripping off, going and run cool water over it, and that's when I realized how badly I'm burnt. I mean, my whole body was like, my stomach muscles was like having muscle spasms and tightening up from the shock of getting burned. So I go in the house here. My mom lives over here next to the shop, her house, so she's the closest person I could go to. I go into her house, calmly walk in and tell her, I'm like, look, I'm burned, antifreeze covered all over me. I said, can you give me a ride to the hospital? So she gives me a ride out to the hospital. I go to the hospital and they wrap me in the cool, clean it with dump saline on me and put the cool rags on it and that. Freaking literally, like I said, I mean, that was probably one of the worst pains I ever had. I mean, my muscles, I was like like I said, my muscles was like cramping from the burn so bad. Then I go in the hospital though. They wash it off with saline. And they didn't even cover it up with anything. Remember, they sent me home uncovered.
Huh.
They give me that Salvatine cream or whatever, that silver-based burn cream, which is
Yeah.
really good. Told me to take ibuprofen and have a nice day.
Was it Highlands?
Yeah, well, it was Highlands, but like I said, that's a shame. I mean, honestly, it's a shame. Don't get hurt around here in southwestern Pennsylvania because the junkies have ruined the hospital. You can go in there literally carrying an arm slung over in the other hand. And because all the junkies go in there all the time and make up all these stupid excuses trying to get pain medication, they won't give you anything. And it's crazy. I mean, I'm in there legitimately, literally, I was burned 60% of my body. And they wouldn't give me, the strongest thing they would give me was ibuprofen for pain.
They should have sent you to a burn center.
Yeah, well, they did. I thought they would too. That's why I went to the hospital. I figured that they would have flew me to Pittsburgh to the burn center, but they didn't. I mean, literally, they cleaned it up, sent me home. It was second-degree burns, mostly from like right below my hip, all the way up my shoulder and the side of my face and my neck, halfway down the middle of my back, down. They said because I had a wife beater on that day, and you know it got
Yeah.
that, so I ripped it off to get the heat away from my body because it was soaked in 260-degree coolant. But I mean, that was probably one of the worst. I mean, that, and I've been blown up with stuff. We was out here probably 20 years ago, 19, 18 years ago. We was out here, and my friend, he just put a new he got a new set of tires. He was mounting them for his Dodge truck, 735. Well, we come down to see the bead. The last one, we realized we was out of starting fluid. Now, I've used gasoline in a pinch. If you use a little bit, it's no problem. So, I walk outside to the shop to look for some gasoline in the shed out there, the motor shed. I come back in with it, and mind you, my friend worked over here for a company that done the military contract. They welded the Bradley tanks. So he's an aluminum welder, so he worked welding all day. And he's used to being around dangerous stuff like that. I come in, he's like, hey man, I just used a little bit of propane in that tire from the torch. He's like, you want to light it? I reached down and struck the lighter on that tire, and it shredded that tire. It rattled the windows, rattled the neighbors' windows. Mom and your mom, it's when we were together, and she come running out of the house in here, and you couldn't see nothing. There was a whole cloud of smoke and dust in here because of that explosion rattled everything loose. And there stands me and Bob, and I'm looking at Bob. I'm like, Bob, how much propane did you put in that thing? So, a little bit. That was one time
A little
I almost died. I got ejected out of the bed of a pickup truck one time. I was standing in the bed of a Toyota, and we was crossing an intersection, and we got T-boned by a minivan. I got thrown like 40 feet out into a field. I got life flighted that time, but luckily I didn't
To
get hurt.
Pittsburgh?
Huh?
To Pittsburgh?
Yeah, I got life flighted. That was my second life flight to Pittsburgh. The first time I got hit in the face. That's why make fun. I don't have my top teeth because I got hit in the face with an axe handle by some dude blindsided me one night. I have a pair of fake ones, but they feel weird, so half the time I don't wear them. But I think I was only like maybe 24, 25 years old when I got hit that. Some big dude, he was all talk, and you know, he could have beat me up easily. I mean, I'm little, what am I? I'm freaking, 5'8" and 130 pounds soaking wet. This guy was 6'4", 326. But because he was that big, I guess he's never really been in a fight, so he had to fight with a weapon. I come out of the truck and I was like, look, dude, if you want to throw down and you'll beat me, that's fine. But he snuck around the back of the truck and grabbed an axe handle out of the truck, come around and smacked me across the face with it. I got life flight at that time too. But yeah, I mean, so I've been in a couple of helicopter rides here and there. Okay, Tom, I'm ready. I think I got everything. We're gonna hook the battery up. I don't think I missed anything.
Okay.
We're about ready for a live fire.
Okay.
I hope the volume is gonna be too.
I'm recording with my phone, so it should be okay.
Okay. Well, let me get this battery hooked up. Did I disconnect it?
Oh, your battery's already turning on.
Huh?
Yeah, I said your radio turned on as soon as you connected the battery.
Oh, my radio in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I got to tighten the battery cable because I was welding on that.
because my
download.
phone tried to connect to it.
Yeah, I'm scared that that Holly computer welding on it. The key shouldn't be on. I don't know why. The key
Uh-huh.
shouldn't be on my-
Maybe because it can provide power to your phone when it's off, so it has to be on.
Maybe. I think Reggie had a problem over his side by side. He said it always turned his phone always turned the radio on.
Yeah.
And I never believed him. I thought he was just being stupid about it. But I'll hook the battery cable up now in the trunk. Trunk mount.
It got dark.
Yeah, well, it does that at night. Imagine that.
Years ago, people were going down to Mexico to get their air conditioner recharged in their vehicles because it is cheap. All the vehicles exploded. They use propane. It gets really cold in the AC
I
units.
use propane in it. It's a little amount. I mean, honestly, vehicles run on propane and gasoline. I've used propane in my personal vehicles for years for refrigerant.
Yeah, but it was in Mexico, so
Yeah,
probably.
I've never had an issue. I've used propane.
Because they use metric in Mexico, and all the cars up here probably use imperial, so they put. Thumbs up, thumbs down. How's it?
I don't know. I got it with exhaust on. I can't run. It sounds alright. Everything sounds good. I mean, it was running rough. It sounds like I might have a little exhaust leak, but I gotta knock something loose. Everything sounds alright.
I always like them 78 to 80 cutlasses.
Yeah, I like this year too. This is my favorite year. Oh, that was my noise. I forgot to tighten that clamp out. See, I mean, you get in a hurry and you forget things. I forgot to tighten the V-band.
So I was gonna say, in Mexico they use metric, and our cars up here are probably imperial in a unit conversion error.
No, that's not what it was. I mean,
I was
like
gonna say, because we lost a $4 million space rover because NASA was using imperial, and the other space agencies were using metric.
I don't think
We're using metric. There's a conversion error,
I don't
and
think-
our thing crashed.
I don't think. Let me try.
Hey, it's steaming over here. Hey! It's steaming over here. It's steaming over here.
Yeah, I got an exhaust leak over there too. I gotta loosen that clamp across the thing. That's that. I don't have coolant in it for one, but I still stop on that exhaust wrap. The oil burning off of it. The oil burning off the exhaust wrap. Yeah, I got that downpipe leaking over there. I got loosen it. this side, this downpipe's leaking. That's that toot, that knocking noise we're hearing. When I pulled the turbo off, I must have knocked it loose on that side. Not a big deal. We'll get that separated out. I don't want to run too long. It is a little low on coolant, so it's going to steam. I spilled coolant when I had it apart. I mean, the block has coolant in, so it's not like it's running dry, but make a mess in the shop, like a dummy. That was real good. I dumped it on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh well, I gotta grab.
Looks
some-
like green goop, like radioactive.
Yeah, I gotta grab some oil dry over there. Throw on here. So what did it take us though? What's the
T
time?
plus 1 hour 25 minutes.
An hour and 25 minutes. I guess that's not too bad for the heads were tore off. The head was tore off of it. To have it up and running. I mean, I gotta put that exhaust on there, but that's only probably in about another 20 minutes. It'll be good. I'm satisfied. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Thanks everybody for stopping in. We'll do it again sometime. We'll have to do something one night. We'll have to set up StreamYard. We'll get a bunch of us on there and have some chat.
The stream is a sigh of relief from the car. It's glad it's being released from the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, it's used to this
So
hospital.
what? That's what Mopar said.
I break it all the time. It's used to it.
Yeah. It's a frequent flyer in the hospital.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I push it too hard. I mean, I do stupid stuff with it. If I would drive it normal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I originally got this motor. It come out of a wrecked truck. It had like 63,000 miles on it. The first thing I did, I'm out here pulling the heads off of it. Filing the ring gaps bigger. That way if I want to run nitrous or boost, I didn't have to worry about hurting it. So it is what it is. This was a low mile motor, but here's the yeah. There's the last stack of pistons. You can see what it does. That's what happens when you go lean under boost. As you can see, no signs of detonation. It just knocks the ring lands off. That's our wall of shame. Let me grab some more. Get that container because I'm going to slip in that, break in that. That should be about it though. Like I said, all I gotta do is that exhaust and I can always finish it tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's going to be crappy tomorrow, but we'll finish it tomorrow. If somebody close, you know, I mean, if there was any YouTubers close, man, you know, be willing, we could do some collabs. I mean, who was, there's a YouTuber on there, he's pretty close to us. He's up towards Greensburg or somewhere. I know, I can't think which one it was because I know he messaged me. I have to go back and look at the messages, but you know, I mean, I'd be more than willing, you know, I mean, it's not that far from him. If he ever wanted to come down and hang out in the shop or use the shop to work on something, we're going to get it cleaned out here shortly, so I'd be, you know, always happy to help people, man. I know back before you were born, there was 5-6 guys in the shop every night we was going for the drives. This place is always full. Toyotas out in the driveway and Suzuki's.
What state, city you guys in? We're in Connellsville, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, we're about 35 minutes southeast of Pittsburgh.
Yeah. About an hour and a half from the airport.
Yeah. But I mean, if there's anybody local, we're probably 35 minutes from Morgantown, West Virginia. Friendsville, Maryland's about 40 minutes.
My
I-68.
my mom grew up in Pittsburgh.
Awesome. Yeah, we're down here in what they refer to as Fayette County. It's like the poorest
County in the
county
state,
in the state.
next to a few others.
But that's because, you know, we have corrupt politicians that they like keeping the local population on the dole. That way they can run them and they vote for them. You know, slavery didn't end, you know, I mean, the Democrats just changed. the
Dan says my
government.
dad was from Clarksburg, West Virginia.
Okay, yeah, I know Clarksburg. But slavery didn't, you know, the Democrats, like I said, slavery itself didn't end, just the form of it. Now it's slavery to the government because the Democrats know they'll vote for them if they give them free stuff. Which is really a shame because they haven't helped them. They haven't helped anybody. Black, white, it doesn't matter. I mean, we're all Americans, but the government just uses them for votes. Government wants to keep,
Identity politics.
yeah, the government wants to keep the blacks poor. They do. That way they know they can vote for them. I'm glad, though, that I've
There's
talked
a lot, actually, who are,
I've talked to a lot of blacks, though, that's waking up to it.
yeah.
They're starting to understand.
And you have like ones that are, who noticed it and have good.
Yeah, those they've been making promises for them since Johnson's been in office, and what have they got? Nothing. They give them the projects, you know. I mean, they give them, they keep them on the dole. And then they drove out the father. You know, they teach these young black mothers, you know, they don't need a father to their child. The government can be their father. And look what it's done. It's destroyed the black community. You know, mandatory minimum sentences on drugs. You know, I mean, it
Was
Yeah.
all made to tear apart
destroy
black family.
Exactly, and it's a shame. You know, I mean, Joe Biden, he calls himself out, but you know, look at the stuff he done.
Joe Biden voted for school segregation.
Yeah, well, Joe Biden, not only that, you know, I mean, he voted for mandatory minimum sentencing, you know, and give people life in jail for, you know, and like somehow it's
For a
different.
plant.
Well, not only that, here's the difference, okay, if you had a minimum amount of cocaine, for somehow, I guess cocaine's a white rich man's drug, it's okay to have cocaine, God forbid they'll have 1/10 of that amount of cocaine cooked up with baking powder and the other stuff they use and cooked into a crack rock. Now all of a sudden, you know, it's a more serious drug and put people in jail for life for it. You know, yeah, crack and cocaine.
Or they give you a felony for a plant.
Yeah, crack and cocaine's really bad, you know what I mean? But at the same time, the government shouldn't tell you if you want to do it, hey, it's your life, as long as you're not giving it to children. You know how I feel.
Old corny pops is one of the worst things that ever happened to America.
What is it?
Old corny pops is one of the worst things that happened to America.
You know how I feel. As a libertarian, I think all drugs should be legal. Person wants to do drugs, it's them.
But we don't. We say you shouldn't for your health
Yeah, but if
and
you
for the
want to,
community
yeah, but you
and
should.
for the community guidelines.
But
But we're not going to stop you.
The government shouldn't tell you that you can or can't. It shouldn't lock you in jail if you do. That's the problem, you know. And Republicans do it too. They try to regulate morality. You know, that's the problem. You know, that's the problem with Republicans. They try to regulate morality.
Someone says that junkies can't make their drugs.
No, you know what I mean? But I mean, think about it. If they want to do it, they're going to do it. If you would legalize it, you would.
And then if you legalize it, you can tax it.
Well, the reason the overdoses is going on, honestly, it's not because of heroin. People's been doing heroin, you know.
And fentanyl and all this stuff is.
Fentanyl is what's killing people.
Yeah, but fentanyl is prescribed in very low amounts as a
The
painkiller.
problem is Chinese fentanyl is getting mixed with the heroin to make more profit. That's why people's died. And like I said, you have a government that give people prescriptions for painkillers for, 20 years. They give them to them like candy. Then all of a sudden, we can't give you those anymore. Those people are out on the street buying pills that are faked with fentanyl in, and those are your overdoses. Why? Because the government, hey, if the doctor feels you need something, that should be between you and your doctor. That shouldn't be the government's point at any point to regulate.
Politicians and morality diametrically opposed.
Exactly. You can't legislate morality. Let me try to start it up real quick.
Sounds a lot better. Oh, there.
Well, the oxygen sensor, right?
Sounds a lot better.
Sounds better now. I got
Yeah.
I got a phone. I picked it up now.
Man, that's flying. Dan says it's quiet.
Yeah, it's slowly through the muffler right now. The dump valve's closed through the muffler. My heat shield for my coils. That's for that lamp on.
Yeah.
Close that off. Boost pipe blows off so that's lamp. It was making a little bit of boost there. Yeah, sounds good. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Maybe we'll take it for a ride tomorrow. I mean, we won't do a live. I appreciate everybody that tuned in, though. I mean, I know a couple of you did, and I thank you very, very much, man.
We're gonna be wrapping it up,
Yeah.
and
I think I just blinded him because when that boost pipe blowed off, it sprayed dirt in his eyes.
no, it's my eyes are just burning. I don't know what it is.
Oh, yeah, it's
Something.
the alcohol. That's why your eyes are
Yeah.
burning, because it's at E85. That's why
Yeah.
your eyes are does
Well,
burn your
we're
eyes.
gonna call it night, everyone,
But thanks, everybody. I appreciate it, guys.
and let the quote flow.
Any questions, any suggestions, anything with the channel?